I mean, like, did her mum really force her to do this? These wheelchair races. Excuse me, Gypsy, how come you don't always have the same voice? Like the squeaky voice? If you don't get the fuck away from me, I'm gonna get my fucking thumbs, I'm gonna shove them in your eyeballs, and I'm gonna push them all the way to the back of your head if you don't get the fuck away from me right now. We wouldn't even be making videos about Gypsy Rose Blanchard if it wasn't for Christy Blanchard. In reality, I mean, like, while Gypsy was in prison, Christy made it her mission to speak about her everywhere, plaster her everywhere on the Facebook groups, try and make her relevant. They did the Mummy Dead and Dearest thing. They drummed up attention. Like, the case itself was pretty wild, but they drummed up enough attention to get it seen. You know what I mean? Like, Gypsy did the Dr. Phil interview. I mean, what a waste of space, crock of shit that was. Like, did Dr. Phil even do, like, a shred of research? Like, the way that Dr. Phil was just carrying on, like, oh, so, you know, he like, let her paint the narrative that basically Nick was this horrible person and he came to her in a clown shirt looking all dazed and shit, and she let him in and he did everything. But, like, in her stupid book that she's just released, like, she's just carrying on about how, like, during the murder, she could hear her mother gurgling. Hang on a minute, bitch. Pretty sure that, like, if we rewind the tape back to, I don't know, the Dr. Phil interview, you didn't say that then. Like, she contradicts herself in everything that she does, you know. And this all falls into the category of what I'm trying to say. Like, they literally are all making money off this. And I'm literally so sick of everybody being like, I know, right? Like, Rod's probably, like, on the boat just, like, trying to get away from them. Like, that man ain't trying to get away from shit. He's in Lifetime. He was pushing her around on that bike. You know, she fell over and it was hysterical. Like, it was just so stupid. But Rod was there. He's on Lifetime, you know. Who got an Ivory Rose's nose box and was trying to defend him and Christy? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Rod is just a part of it as anybody else. He just paints himself to be the innocent dad that doesn't know shit, and Christy's just a loudmouth that causes shit. Like, Christy is a loudmouth that causes shit, but I just think that Rod isn't as innocent as everybody plays him out to be. He knows the fucking deal. He knows his kid's a psychopath. You know, dead-eyed ass Gypsy Rose. You know, he knows it. Like I said before, they all stood in front of the Mummy Dead and Dearest picture. Mia included. Like, they all stood in front of it. Like, they paint Mia as, like, the good sister. That's only because she isn't out here, like, you know, constantly sticking up for Gypsy. She does her own thing. You know what? I'd be doing the same thing. Hats to you, I would be doing the same thing. I wouldn't be saying anything. I wouldn't be trying to stick up for her. I'd just be doing the same thing. Like, hey guys, I might be a sister, but I'm doing my get ready with me and all this shit. Like, that's how she gets away with, you know. Like, but where'd you get the money for the nose job? Like, I really want to know where you got that money for the nose job. Like, being just accepted to be a nurse, nah, you're not gonna, you know. And then people like, oh my god, you guys are so mean, like, it's probably a Lifetime money. Excuse me, but pretty sure that's blood money from Dee Dee's death, because if Gypsy gave it to her, or Lifetime gave it to her, or whatever the case may be, it's all blood money from Dee Dee Blanchard's death. Like, that's where the money came from. Like, I 100% cannot be certain that, you know, that she didn't save up her whole life like a good girl with her pocket money or whatever and buy a nose job. But to me, it just looks like she used the Lifetime money to buy it. With the nose job at chin implants, you're not going to just save up for that. Like, come on, let's be real. And for them to all stand in front of that picture, I've always thought Mia was just gross ever since she did that. Like, I tried to like her during the Lifetime thing. Like, I really did because, she was against what Christy was saying and stuff like that. And Gypsy is her sister, you know. Like, I didn't want to just tarnish her with the same brush only because she's related to Gypsy and she tried to make, like, a life with her. But, like, for her to get chin implants and a nose job and it's like, nah, I'm not feeling you. I'm not feeling her anyway. Like, even when she does, like, her get ready with me's and shit, I'm not feeling it. It's just like, it's just a fake vibe to me. Like, Gypsy is so jealous of Mia. She's so jealous of, the baby. Like, she's so jealous of that baby. Like, I have three parents on my Facebook newsfeed right now that have got newborn babies, like the past like 2 weeks, through a couple of months, all that shit, right? And they never post, like, they're not posting photos of their postpartum body. Like, they're not like, oh, look at me. Like, they're plastering their baby all over my newsfeed to the point where I want a baby. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's fair enough after a while. You're like, hey, guys, like, I'm back to shape. Like, you know what I mean? But why would you do that just after supposedly having this baby? Like, I just do not believe that she had this baby like a week ago. I still believe wholeheartedly that someone else had that kid for her. Like, I know it sounds far-fetched, but I just think that, like, some surrogate or something, like, had that kid because nobody can tell me that that baby photo didn't look like a reborn doll in the hospital, number one. Also, it looked like she had a fake baby bump. Like, it wasn't just me that said it. Thousands of people said that it looked like, where's the baby? Like, it looked like a fake baby bump. Like, either she was pregnant and she just didn't look pregnant because of her micro deletion thing, and she just wanted to, like, look like a pregnant mother, or someone else had that kid for her because, like, that baby in the hospital looked like a reborn doll. Like, when you look at it, it just looks like a fake baby. Is that to hide the fact that the baby was born, like, around the book signing when Gypsy looked like absolute ass crack in those book signing pictures? Like, she looked like, and I'm not even trying to be mean, but she looked like she just, like, had a really bad time and she just looked really under the weather. Like, and I can imagine someone that had a microdeletion that just had a baby would look like absolute shit. So there's two theories that I have. You know what I mean? It's like, did she have the baby and she had it around the book signing and that's why she looked like total ass crack? Or did someone else have that baby for her and she just looked like shit because at the book signing because she had some sort of sickness? Because she does get sick, she just tries to hide it. Like, have you guys ever seen her on live? And she's, like, squinting at the camera, like, especially when she was supposedly pregnant. Like, she was standing there, and when she stands up for too long, she starts, like, moving her hips like she can't stand for too long. Like, there's probably a reason why Dee Dee puts you in a chair, you know what I mean? Like, I just believe that, she had so many more medical conditions than what she's making out. Like, in the crime scene photos, there was glasses. Like, a whole series of glasses, like, just hanging on the fucking wall. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much more to it. Like, I just believe that everybody that's involved in her is just taking the checks. Like, I don't even believe that she pays Brie and Rogie or whatever. I just think that she just uses the shit out of those two. And they just paint a narrative everywhere. Like, apparently Brie's not going to talk about her anymore, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't either. Like, not that I'm, the biggest fan of them, but I just think that, like, I would not be sticking up for somebody this hard if I wasn't getting any help in return. Do you know what I mean? Now, I don't mean financial help. I mean, like, what? How many times have you ever seen Gypsy in one of those boxes? You've seen her in the box, like, what? Bugger all. You've seen Christy in there trying to, like, paint her narrative, of course. But, like, the way I see it, like, you've got, she had, like, 9 million people on her platform at one point, 10 million, whatever it was. if you really cared about your friends, wouldn't you be putting them out there somehow? Like, instead of just one picture, like at, I think it was the baby gender reveal, she had a picture of her friend Brie up there. Like, literally, wouldn't you, like, get your friend Brie to do like a merch line or like a something and get her name out there? And but she just doesn't think like that because she's selfish. And a lot of it rolls back to Christy. Like, imagine Gypsy's in jail for like 8 years, obviously, right? But like, this whole time, they were painting this narrative for her. Like, there was like one movie made before, like the Hulu one or whatever. But like, when Gypsy got out of jail, she was like always trying to like, don't worry about the act. I haven't even watched it. Like, why? Because she didn't get paid for it. You know what I mean? Like, if she wasn't kept relevant, no one would speak about her. Like, what about Casey Anthony? I do not like that bitch. I think she killed her kid. But the reason why people don't do videos on her constantly left, right, and center and make, groups about her and all that shit is because she did what? She fucked off from the spotlight, ditched, and, not that I like what she did, because I don't, but I understand why she did that. But at the end of the day, she's just a creep. She buggered off out of the spotlight and ran away because she couldn't deal with it. But that's really what Gypsy should do. And there's people out there that are like, no, that's not what the Blanchards should do. They should be out in the spotlight. They should be telling their story. What story? I mean, like, that book was just wow. Like, who wanted to know that when Gypsy was in jail, the way for her to get biscuits and gravy, I only just learned what biscuits and gravy is because here it is not the same thing. She got fingered in prison so she could get biscuits and gravy. Like, is that true? Or, and then she does her new Lifetime commercial advert thing and she starts saying shit like, they were calling me a loose woman and all this shit. Like, we're calling you that because what about your book, sweetheart? It was just a big mess of sexual hyper-sexuality bullshit. Like, we don't want to know that you got fingered in prison for biscuits and gravy. We don't want to know about all your sexual shit, and then there's another reason why people hate her too, because she goes on about how Claude raped her and all this shit. Like, there's no proof of anything. There's no timeline evidence to prove anything. Like, I know that this sounds nasty, but in that interview in Mummy Dearest, when Claude said that she was very sexual towards him and he had to push her sexual advances away, I know that to victims of sexual abuse, they would think to themselves, no, that sounds like a predator. But when you think of it as Gypsy being so hypersexual, it doesn't sound like that to me. Like, I strongly believe that that's what Gypsy was doing. Like, like Ivory was saying in the live the other night, there was a person that came to us and told us that, someone that they knew, Gypsy was in a motel room at the VisionCon thing and they were upstairs or whatever. There were 6 men in a motel room and Gypsy was in there. Who comes to the rescue to drag Gypsy's ass out of that motel? Her mother. Like, you are not doing this. Like, you are not sitting here with all these men. Get the fuck out now. Like, her and the family grabbed her and dragged her out of there, Like, what kind of victim is that? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just disgusting. Like, it just rattles my brain that people still believe this chick. I just don't get it. Like, if you're getting dragged out of a motel room by your mother because you're in there with 6 VisionCon men, what is that saying about you? And then people wonder why other people say that Gypsy is a loose goosey. I mean, like, I said that she's got loose flaps because, like, how can you not with all these sexual encounters? And then she lies and says all this shit like, oh, Nick was my first. Like, I don't believe that. Like, in her book, like, as if we wanted to know or needed to know that she was forced to wear pamper nappies by her mother, and she pulled her pamper nappies down to go and have sexual relations with Nick Godejohn in a bathroom stall of a Cinderella movie. Like, this is wild to me. It is absolutely outrageous. Like, and there's a reason why people are so, whoa, gobsmacked about this shit, because what the actual hell is going on? Like, you've got her biscuits and gravy and bathroom stalls with the nappies on and all this shit in this book, and she wonders why people think that she's got to lose Fanny. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is why people think you got to lose Fanny Love, because this is what you're telling us. Like, I remember something about, like, I think he was Brian Waters or Brian Goldham or whatever his name was, and then you got that Dan guy, and then you got all these guys in the motel room, and then you've got Nick Godejohn, and, you know, and there's another thing that I want to express, like, I really do, because I don't really do videos on Gypsy, like, I just do funny shit, like, or just roast her, but, like, what I really want to say is I believe that Gypsy stabbed her mother. I do not believe that she just set up Nick to do the stabbing, okay? I believe with everything inside me, okay, that when he was doing the interview and he said the 4 times thing, I believe that he literally only did it 4 times, because that you know, the detective was trying to drag it out of him, but, like, he really should have had counsel with him. Like, that's just ridiculous. But, like, the amount of hatred, the amount of sheer hatred that you would need, and people are like, oh, yeah, well, it's just because, you know, Gypsy told him that she was pregnant and the mother made her get rid of it, that's why he did it. Bullshit. When you can't tell me that crime wasn't a crime of passion. That was, I hate you, boom, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. That's what that was. That is what that was. I believe that Nick was like, maybe, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, thought she was dead or whatever, but I reckon Gypsy, like, slammed her with insulin or something to knock her out so it wasn't in the, you know, the crime report thing at the end, like the coroner report, toxicology report. And she just went gun-ho, like, I hate you, 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 boom, 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 boom. I'm sorry, but no one can tell me different. No one can tell me that hypersexual woman wasn't standing over her mother and stabbing her. Ryan's in it for the fame and the money. Ken's in it for the fame and the money. You can't tell me Ryan didn't get anything out of it when it first was going on. You can't tell me Ken doesn't get anything out of it. You know, all these people surrounding her. If she didn't, I'm sorry, Gyp, but if you didn't have $1, you wouldn't have a friend. Okay, bye now.